Another market breakdown. Today is January the 28th on a Wednesday. So right now we are looking at gold, and as you can see on the daily time frame, we have closed bullish on the previous day, which is pretty crazy. And even on the open, you can see the open is constantly climbing. It's crazy. Like just from like we had just hit 5,000. Like it's almost like it's just skipping. Like we're now at what, about around 5,500, close to 5,600. We just hit 5,000. Now all of a sudden we about to be close to 6,000 already. Like, and it's only still within the first quarter. Like this is the first month of the year, and we are already close to 6,000. Like this is like crazy on how like it's just pretty much jumping. Like it's crazy. Like so you can see here how we're still overbought on the RSI, but also we still constantly climbing. So making higher highs. So obviously, as price continue to go up, you can see here that price never came back down. But from a candle perspective, these were some good entries. Wait for price to retrace back at a certain percentage and catch these entries. So you can always do that if you understand candle behavior patterns and timing. Candle behavior pattern and timing. My words got a little sloppy there. So I mean, other than that, we just constantly making higher highs, so we just constantly follow that. So right now, this is our next support level. We do have like a little gap, as you can see right here. So this is like a little gap that we got right here. So that's pretty interesting. Got a little gap, but price is, as you can see, rejecting down real fast as it picked up. So this is pretty interesting. But other than that, gold is definitely still bullish. So like I always tell y'all, just kind of be cautious for those who are buying. I would just take quick buys because, like I said, it can drop at any moment. But so far, like it's just shooting up. Like it literally came from this support level, and from here, from this week alone, like how much it done shot. Like this is already just from here to here is already 12%, almost 13% move. So that's pretty crazy, So and it's only Wednesday, but let's see what yields is doing. Ooh, then that just happened. So yields made a huge drop. So we are on this. It did. I can say, as you see, when yields came into this area, it did make a clear breaking structure and broke the above. So as long as it kind of remain above the support level, then yields can still keep pushing up. But once it break below here, then that's a chance that it can break back below this range. But as long as we kind of stay above here, that's a kind of chance for it to still push up higher. So now I can say if yields do continue rebounding and continue, pushing up higher, then at some point gold will drop at some point because there's no way yield is going to just keep climbing higher. Right now it's just choppy. It already broke out of this range right here. So if y'all look at the bigger picture, this was a range that was in for a good minute, for a good long time. Actually, really here, all the way here. We was in this range for a good long time. We finally broke out of it. So let's go to the daily so you can see the bigger picture. Just the daily right here, so you can see here, like we in a range within the range, to be honest. So we had this little small range right here going on, and then finally broke out of it, and then you got this overall bigger picture range of this right here. So my thing is the fact that okay, hey, if it can stay above this support area right here, really here, because how I see it is, so if you look right on the daily time frame, we have this nice last down candle before price push up. So really, if price can remain above here and don't break back below here, and we can stay within this range, then yeah, just keep pushing up, So, but like I say, that's pretty much this area here. So really, as long as stay above here. Uh, so with that being said, if yields keep pushing up, gold not gonna be able to keep staying that strong. There's no way because, like I say, usually when yields is going up, gold is going down. When yields is going down, gold is going up. It just gold because gold is on, like I said, so much tension going on. But we all know gold is at all-time highs and it's constantly spiking up fast. It's almost gapping sometimes. So when it's like that, depends on what yields do. Now I can't say the DXY is dropping too. The dollar index is dropping very, very hard. So when the dollar index is constantly dropping like that, then that also make gold more stronger. So you got really mixed fundamentals, and you got this tension going on. So you got the U.S. dollar dropping, and then you got a lot of tension going on in the economy, which is making gold more stronger too. So, and when there's tension, investors like to put their money into safe pairs. So all that will make gold continue to stay strong. But gold is pushing. Like I'm just be honest. Out of all my years of just watching price action, I've never seen gold move like this. The way how it moves and how fast it's moving. Like it's crazy. Even silver doing the same thing. But obviously it makes sense, especially with silver, because you gotta think like when it come down to building all this stuff, all this AI and all this stuff, chips and that and all that stuff, all that requires silver. So it makes sense. They're gonna be using silver for a whole lot of stuff to make. You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense why silver will be pushing as well too. So and if we look at the DXY US dollar, um, we definitely push back. We actually getting close to the original low. So and that's a huge drop that DXY makes. Right now we're right underneath this resistance right here, slowly making a transition. So we did took some kind of low out right here. So this is a low that got taken out, which is why it's reacting off of this low that got taken out. But still in a downtrend. So right now we kind of like in this range right here. So long as price stay below here, then yeah, this can really keep pushing down. So that's kind of like my input for the US dollars. As you can see from a daily perspective, you can see that's just price underneath here. Now we did close bullish the previous day, but that you can see also how price also rejected off of that long wick right there. So it lets you know the seller still came back into play. So let's see the UJ gonna be, I ain't gonna lie, UJ gonna be very interesting because I think there was some news going on. I gotta make a video about that. About I guess um something about Trump and them, I guess, being involved with, I guess helping yen out, helping yen dollar out or something. I gotta look more into it. But if they're trying to help out the yen dollar, right, what's gonna be interesting. It depends on what their plan is. It's not really fully in place yet. But if they're talking about helping the yen dollar out, then that's gonna actually boost the yen. And this is U.S. dollar against Japan, so that's gonna be kind of interesting. But you know what? Like Trump said, we do better. We do better when the dollar is weakened. And why? When the dollar is cheap. Why? Because you can do a lot more with a cheaper dollar. You can't do a lot more with an expensive dollar. He said that himself. You can do more with a cheap dollar. You can't do as much when the dollar is expensive. So, seem like they're almost trying to purposely, weaken the dollar. So, and if that's the case, then U.S. Japan gonna continue dropping. So, but it's interesting. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really a person who keep up with politics, but it's interesting when you hear certain stuff. But yeah, UJ is definitely dropping, and then if you kind of look at the bigger picture of UJ, right? UJ is at this area of where it can drop back down. It's at all-time highs. We can drop back down, and look at yen. Look at yen as well. This is gonna be kind of interesting. So this for those who trade futures, you got yen. Where's yen at? Man, where's yen? USD Japan. Wait, was I on yen the whole time? Nah, I wasn't. Now look, y'all. This is very interesting. Yen has always been, in a downtrend. So has USD Japan. UJ, USD Japan, and then yen. This is the literally yen dollar index, right? For the longest, this thing has been in a downtrend for the longest. This is the weekly time frame for the longest. As you can see, like it's at the lowest. And there's rumors saying how U.S. I ain't gonna say Trump specifically, but I'm just say U.S. in general because I don't know the word from word, but I know U.S. in general is talking about helping out the yen dollar, right? And if you look, the yen dollar been at the lowest for a long time, and if you see here, it's just really been in a transition phase where it's just been in a range bound for a long time, and right now we at the bottom of this range bound. That's kind of how I've been low key predicting UJ as well too. Also with understanding the U.S. dollar, so The US dollar is literally, I mean, US UJ is literally the opposite of yen. It's the opposite. So it's kind of interesting. I'm like, okay, we in a transition phase where this can actually, and this actually is a future pair, by the way, that I'm looking at right now. But it's actually interesting seeing this, that knowing that we're on this support level, we're at the bottom of the bottom. It's oversold right now, coming underneath this baseline at 49. So it's like, yo, like if this can break above here, cause right now we just in this little move. So a lot of people like see like, oh man, like it's pushing up like crazy, but not like we just really in this little phase right here. So if this can really like, if this break above here right here for sure, it's already at a breaking structure on this support level, right? Of this overall range bound. Once you get above here, then at that point you know it's gonna be going right back up into here because it's been through that in the past. And if it breaks above here, then 9 out of 10, the day that it break out of here, that might be a huge opportunity to start seeing yen start pushing up. Obviously, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be some policies in place that have to change for all that stuff to happen. But anyways, this video is kind of too long, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it. Make sure y'all traders stay disciplined, have proper risk management, and like always, before you enter in a trade, I'm gonna always say this: before you enter in a trade, you should always know what you're risking and what your reward is, and you should always know before you risk where your trade step is no longer valid. Once you know where your trade step is no longer valid, then that's where your stop loss is gonna be. At that point, you know what you'll be risking. That help control your emotions. So it's gonna be a huge tip for y'all, to help y'all be able to stay disciplined and consistent throughout the year. And don't overtrade. Trade your setup. That's it. Trade your plan. That's it. Plan, trade, and trade your plan. So other than that, I'll see you next video. Peace.